Hey, good morning, everybody. Make sure you share this live. Let's get as many people in the chat as we can this morning. It's a beautiful morning on Delmarva. We got Christian already in the chat. Who's got their coffee ready? Let's all wake up the right way this morning. KP in the morning, every Thursday at 10 a.m. We got a lot of great topics to discuss, and it all starts in about a minute. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the studio. Hopefully you got some coffee ready just like I do, because we all got to get waking up the right way. It's KP in the morning. We do this every Thursday at 10 a.m. I got the smooth jazz rolling. This show is a little bit more low-key than the Monday night show. We keep it nice and relaxed and good vibes only. Hop in the chat just like Christian. Let's drop a bomb for Christian. We keep our bombs nice and low-key in the morning, all right? Nothing too abrupt. But seriously, guys, how you doing? How's your morning been going? How was your day yesterday? Let me know a little bit about your day. Don't be shy, all right? We're all one big happy family here at Studio 2. Let's open it up right now. I got a lot of great discussion topics like we always do. Morgan Wallen, he got arrested for 3 felony charges. If you want to hear about that, make sure you stick around. Spotify is about to demonetize small artists. If you want to hear about that, definitely stick around. And Balkan Out of Control. There's one area of the globe that is dominating the NBA. Nobody's talking about it, but I got a lot to say about it. So strap in and stay tuned, because KP in the morning, this is about to be one of our best episodes ever. I'm alone today in the studio. No Kenny, no Daisy B, anything like that. Hopefully they'll hop in the chat and keep sharing that live, because the more people we get in here, the better the show is going to be. All right. Let's get into some housekeeping. The Spotify playlist is still doing very well, so appreciate everybody who's tuning in and listening to all these great tracks, because, you know, it was Listen Local Day yesterday here in the 410 area. It was April 10th, so I started a little tradition. We're calling it 410 Day, and that's when you listen local the entire day. So this playlist was really active, was really busy yesterday. April 10th, 410 Day. All these songs were made right here in Salisbury, right here in the 410. And if you need some good music in your life, a lot of good summer songs on this playlist too. Like that first track, or that second track, Need Me by Tre'vell. Great summer track. Of course, Addicted is one of the greatest summer singles that you could ever hear. So if you haven't heard these songs, guys, go look them up. DJ KP Classics, all the best mixed songs of my career. Some of the songs I've made the beat. All of them I mixed and mastered, but some of them I even made the beat and did everything else. So go check them out for me. Run them up. Oh, yeah, and Jano has a new song. Shout out to my guy Jano. That's on the playlist now. I just added it. It's called Not Enough. Yeah, check out that track right here at the bottom, Not Enough. Great new single from Jano. And if you didn't know already, May 2nd, about to be the greatest showcase in Eastern Shore history. We got 3 amazing headliners. If you want to be there, make sure you save the date, May 2nd. That's a Thursday night, and it's going to be at Warehouse in Salisbury, Maryland. Look at that. C-Mac going to be performing live, Slimy Tana, and Pauly De Niro. You don't want to miss this show. These are 3 of the best performers that we have. It's only going to be $10 to get into the building. So get ready to drink, have a good time with your fellow Eastern Shore hip-hop fans. It's going to be a good night. I can't wait to see C-Mac do his thing, Slimy Tana, Pauly De Niro, and all the performance slots are sold out. It's going to be huge, guys. Thursday, May 2nd. Do not forget. It's going to be an unforgettable evening. Honestly, guys, I'm not just saying that. All the information right here. Yep, May 2nd, $10 cover. Got to be 21 or older, obviously. But get ready for one of the greatest nights in Eastern Shore hip-hop history. I'm not just saying that. All right, let's get into the main discussion topics of the day. Shout out to my guys, Bill Baker and Jessica. I was just called into their show. You know, they got a great morning show every weekday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I call in every Thursday. It's a little tradition. And I get them ready for my show. We discuss a few topics. Just wanted to shout them out really quick. You know, my Power family. Obviously, I'm on there every weekday at 5 p.m. for the old school versus new school mix. And definitely follow us on Instagram, guys. Great clips have dropped recently. King Cannon had one of the greatest freestyles in show history. If you want to see it, go on our Instagram. It's also on our YouTube. And, yeah, the last episode of Studio 2 was a crazy one. There was a crazy surprise ending, which no one in show history has really done anything like that yet. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out episode 69. It's up right now on the YouTube channel, obviously. Surprise ending, all right? There was a funeral surprise ending. That's all I'll say. If you want to see it, you got to go tune in. Yeah, that was a crazy one. And this freestyle by King Cannon, everyone's talking about it. So go check out that new content that we posted. It's also on the YouTube channel. And I'll say it one more time. I've been saying it nonstop, but we're finally over 1,000 subscribers, guys. This truly is the Eastern Shore's #1 live talk show, and it's all because of you guys, all right? And don't be sleeping on the shorts section. I got a great shorts section. Check out this guy. Check this out. Look at this. In the celebration, he bites the shit out of his teammate. Accidentally. Great stuff like this on the shorts. I mean, look at the damage. That is funny. Too. He's totally cut open. He's got. But yeah, guys, don't sleep on the channel. Go check out the channel. Go watch all the goofy clips we got. We got great playlists, all the greatest live performances right here in this playlist. All the ciphers neatly organized into a couple of different playlists. There's tons of content, guys. Tons of content. So don't be sleeping on the YouTube channel. Go watch and share with your friends and comment and hit the like button. Help out the show. All right, now it really is time to get into the main discussion topics of the day. Strap in, y'all. We got some good stuff to talk about. First things first, we're going to start with the sports section. So if you like sports, make sure you hop in the chat with me. Let's discuss, all right? Don't be shy. All right, you might have noticed we had a goofy subtitle of the episode today. I called it Balkan Out of Control, which is a great pun because no one's talking about this, I feel like. I mean, Luka Doncic, he's from a certain part of the globe that people call the Balkans, all right? And so is Nikola Jokic, and so is Domantas Sabonis. And those three guys, you could make a case, are the top 3 MVP candidates in the NBA. And that's why I named the subtitle of this episode Balkan Out of Control. Because these guys are balling out of control. I mean, look at Luka. We'll start off with Luka. Highest points per game, plus rebounds per game, plus assists per game since the NBA started, basically. All right, it says since the merger. And if you don't know what that means there used to be an NBA and an ABA, and they merged in the 70s to become what we know as the NBA today. So basically, no one has had higher stats than Luka since the NBA started. I mean, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all those great players, and Luka has the best numbers ever since the NBA has started, basically. So he's in that MVP race right now. He could definitely win it, but someone else who could definitely win it is this guy, Domantas Sabonis. All right, he is actually, that name might sound familiar to you. He is actually the son of Arvydas Sabonis. Remember, he used to ball for the Portland Trail Blazers. And a lot of people used to think he was the greatest basketball player of all time, but he had a lot of injuries. You know, he played in Serbia, I believe. And then late in his career, he came to the NBA. But that's beside the point. This guy, Domantas Sabonis, joins Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in NBA history with 1,000 rebounds and 600 assists in a season. So he's doing it all. When you join Wilt Chamberlain as the only person to do something, that means it's truly rare, and it's an exceptional feat. So this guy's up there in the MVP race. Luka obviously is, but the number one front runner right now obviously is Nikola Jokic, man. And this guy has been dominating ever since about 2018. You know, he's actually led his team, the Denver Nuggets, in assists, rebounds, and scoring since 2018. This is a generational player, as they say. This is a once-in-a-lifetime player. First player in NBA history over a 5-year span to record 8,000 points, 4,000 rebounds, 3,000 assists. Only player ever. Yeah, first player in NBA history. So you got Luka making NBA history with his stats every single day. You got Nikola Jokic making history with his stats every single day. And that's why I named this episode Balkan Out of Control. Because if you don't know, the area of the planet that these guys are from, we call it the Balkans. So, I mean, there's like a new stereotype in town. The Balkans are good at basketball. I mean, it even goes back to Sabonis' dad, like I was talking about. It runs in the family. They probably, I wonder when the Balkans truly got basketball, because they probably only had the sport in their area for about 50, 60 years, and that's why it took them a little bit to get started. But yeah, they're some of the best basketball players on the planet, and I feel like no one's talking about it. But yeah, Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic, Jokic, and Sabonis. The last names just say it all. They're all from the same area of the planet, and they are Balkan out of control. And I actually was just watching Jokic last night. I watched the entire game between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that was a great game because, if you don't know, the regular season is winding down. And that is the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. So there was a lot on the line. And I also bet on the game, and I won. You know, I know a lot about sports. I'm a very successful sports bettor. And yeah, I just started my sports betting career, and I'm 3 for 5 and have made more money than when I started. So I guess that's pretty good. But yeah, I actually bet on the game last night between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota, number 1 seed, and then the Nuggets were the number 2 seed. And whoever won that game was going to be in first place of the West. So it was a big, big game. I bet on the Nuggets, and I won that bet because it's always a good idea to bet on this man right here. Look at the numbers. 41 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Nearly a triple-double, but yeah, 40 points, 11 rebounds. He does it all for his team. And there was another MVP candidate on the other team, and that's Anthony Edwards. And I haven't seen Anthony Edwards play too much, but comparing him to Jokic last night, I watched the whole game. He doesn't seem like much of an MVP candidate. He doesn't really affect the game like people like Luka and Nikola or Giannis or an Embiid. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with what I saw from Edwards last night. It seemed like he was kind of afraid of the ball. Like, I'll say it, that's exactly what I saw. Like, in the big, big moments, he was totally fine with his teammates having the ball and taking charge. So he still seems like he's got a little bit of maturing to do as like a leader. But great player, but I don't think he's really an MVP candidate like these other guys. Greg, what's up, man? What do you think? Anthony Edwards, is he a top 5 player to you? If he is, he's probably 5. Some more Nikola Jokic praise. Most NBA triple-doubles with no turnovers, all right? Triple-doubles with 0 turnovers. He has the most in NBA history. 7. And Jason Kidd, second place. Fat Lever, what a great name. Fat Lever. You see that? That's a guy from kind of back in the day. I think he played in like the 70s or something. Pau Gasol, wow. He was a very efficient player. So was Grant Hill. And Ben Simmons is on the list. Whatever happened to Ben Simmons, man? Greg Palmer says Anthony Edwards is top 10. He's my second favorite player behind Luka. Wow. Yeah, he's a cool player. He had some great poster dunks, great highlights this season. But when it was the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. I watched the whole game last night. When the game was on the line and the game was kind of getting away from them in the fourth quarter, Anthony Edwards took like 2 shots and just seemed like a little nervous. And meanwhile, Jokic seemed like a complete animal. He wanted the situation. When the going got tough, he wanted the ball. He just seemed like a real leader. And he's doing things that have never been done in NBA history. Oh, yeah, and you got people like Kevin Hart are hating on him. He's definitely, I mean, he's so good, he's starting to get like the Tom Brady hate, you know, like that pure hater hate that like LeBron James gets, or like, yeah, Tom Brady. He's starting to get that kind of hate. Kevin Hart wants NBA to stop giving Nikola Jokic MVP awards. It's not good for the NBA. What does short Kevin Hart know about the NBA and what's good for basketball? Like, he has the best numbers, all right? I said it a little bit ago. Ever since 2018, he has led his team in points, rebounds, and assists. What does valuable mean if he's not the most valuable? He leads his team in points, rebounds, and assists. Rose. Hey, nothing wrong with short people, all right? But stay out of the NBA. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a big Muggsy Bogues fan. He's from Baltimore. He's a Maryland guy. Shortest guy in NBA history. Short guys can play in the NBA. Steph Curry, Earl Watson, Muggsy Bogues. Oh, that's funny, though, because I know I got a segment later of the tallest guys in NBA history. So stay tuned for that, Rose. You're going to like that. Tallest guys. But yeah, Kevin Hart is hating on Nikola Jokic. How weird is that? How weird is that? They got to stop giving him MVPs. Well, Kevin Hart, he's about to have his little heart broken because Nikola Jokic is probably going to become one of 8 players in NBA history who have won 3 MVPs in 4 years. Because he is the front runner for MVP this year. Pause. Do I got to hit the pause button on KP in the morning?
Pause.
But yeah, Kevin Hart about to get his little heart broken because he probably is going to win another one and be one of either 8 or 9 players in NBA history to win 3 in 4 years. He's pretty amazing. And then even one of my favorite players ever, Gilbert Arenas. Y'all know I'm a big Wizards fan. Gilbert Arenas is even hating on Jokic. And I love Gilbert Arenas. He's hilarious. He got some great takes. I don't know if he's just trying to stir the pot, just trying to make a headline. But he has been on the record recently of saying that Nikola Jokic is the worst MVP in the last 40 years. Yeah, Agent Zero, Rose Tolson, he's a fan. But he's saying my boy Jokic is the worst MVP in the last 40 years. Can't be. You could make an argument that he's the best MVP in the last 40 years. But, hey, I still love Gilbert Arenas. Still my favorite Wizard. He dropped 61 points on Kobe. And everything will be okay. But the hate for Jokic has to stop. Where's all this hate coming from? He seems like a really low-key guy. He doesn't seem like he's really in your face. He's not demanding a whole lot of attention. He's just getting it because he's that good. Oh, and the playoffs coming up, guys. Wow, am I excited for the playoffs. I think this year the playoffs are going to bring back the NBA because it always seems like NFL number 1, NBA number 2, and that's been clear. But this playoff push is going to kind of bridge the gap a little bit, I think, because these are going to be some great playoff games, and it's official. The Clippers and Mavericks will face off in the first round of this year's NBA playoffs. Big bomb for that. I mean, I can't think of a better matchup. That's fun basketball. I'll be watching that series. Luka versus Kawhi, Kyrie versus Westbrook. It's going to be crazy. I cannot wait to see it. And one of the best duos in the NBA this year, definitely Luka and Kyrie. Probably the best duo when it comes to entertainment value. Those guys are awesome. That was the duo we didn't know we needed in the NBA. And they seem like they got a great friendship going, too. Anybody got a prediction for this series? That'd be a hard one to predict. Anybody want to go out, put their neck out there and give a prediction for this series? Dallas or Los Angeles? Mavericks or Clippers? Somebody comment. Who you got? That's a tough one. Man, that's tough. I'm going to go with the Clippers. My heart is with Luka, but he might go home in the first round this year. But no, I can't go against them. This is a tough one. And I like the trades they made later in the season. They got Daniel Gafford from my Wizards because my Wizards are that stupid. They gave away one of their best players. And I knew that guy, he legitimately is one of the best big men in the league. And we just let him go because we figured if he's a Wizard, he can't be that good. But if you're a Wizards fan, you know what I'm talking about. They got a guy on the Mavericks now named Daniel Gafford. And he's gonna cause some trouble for the Clippers for sure. Man, I can't call this one. Yeah, Clippers can't stay healthy is a very good point. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. Man, they have James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George. The Clippers, man, during my childhood, they were the worst team in the league for so long. But ever since like the mid-2000s, they've been lucky with their roster. They just can't win a championship. They've had some of the greatest rosters in the past 10 years, 15 years. All right, let's get into another great franchise in the NBA. This happened on Tuesday. I didn't even hear about this till this morning. Just like the Golden State Warriors are branded as, they just had the greatest three-point shooting night in NBA history. So the Splash Brothers are at it again. The whole team is full of Splash Brothers. It's the whole Splash family in Golden State. But yeah, look at the numbers here. Highest single game three-point percentage ever. They hit 26 three-pointers on Tuesday night. 26 out of 41. Best ever. And here's the individual shooting down here too. Steph Curry shot 6 for 6 from beyond three-point. 6 for 6 from beyond the arc. 100%. Even Draymond Green shot 5 of 7. Klay Thompson, very solid still, 5 of 10. Everybody was shooting threes. Even Chris Paul made one. He was at 25%, so he wasn't too hot. But yeah, Steph Curry 6 for 6. Even Draymond Green shot 71% from three. I don't know. Maybe the Warriors, not a lot of people want to see them in the first round, especially when they're hot like this from three. And another crazy thing, another crazy stat about these Warriors this year, this is a wild stat. I wonder how many times this has ever happened in NBA history. They are the first team in the league when it comes to rebounds per game. And they are also the shortest team in the league. They have the lowest average height for their teammates, and they got the most rebounds in the entire league. How does that happen? Because obviously you think of rebounds as a taller player's stat, right? You think of that. That's a power forward center kind of stat. But their average height on their team only 6'5", and they got the most rebounds in the game. And they're shooting lights out. Most rebounds in the league. That means they're a scrappy team. I got a good feeling about the Golden State Warriors in this year's playoffs. All right? Nobody wants to see them in the first round. I can't wait to get the playoffs started. The NBA is about to be lit. All right, we were talking about the the MVP race a little bit earlier. And I think when it comes to the MVP race, this stat right here might just kind of end the conversation. This should just be what decides the MVP. This is a plus minus, which is a great stat. Basically, when you're on the court, how much better does your team do versus when you're off the court? That's what this stat basically points out. And look at this. On the court, the Denver Nuggets are a plus 11.3. Off the court, -9. And is that the highest we have? That might be the highest in the league, and that's why Nikola Jokic should be MVP. Oh, actually, no, look at that. Jason Tatum has the highest. Oh, no, wait, oh my goodness. He has the opposite. This is blowing my mind. I'm seeing this in real time right now with you. Jason Tatum is the opposite of an MVP. Oh, no. Okay, I thought this was actually a minus up here. So that's not a minus when he's on the court, but it is a plus when he's off the court. His team does pretty good when he's not playing. So, yeah, he's definitely not MVP. Because this plus 12 on the court is actually the highest plus in the league. But most of these other guys have a negative when they're off the court. I was just talking about him too. Even Anthony Edwards, he has a plus. Even Steph Curry has a plus, but they got a good team. Man, Steph Curry's plus is not that great. But he's got a good team. He's playing good either way. But yeah, this is why Nikola Jokic should win the MVP, and it's kind of obvious. He has the highest plus-minus rating in the entire NBA. When he's on the court, plus 11. When he's off the court, -9. That's all you need to know. He's the most valuable for his team. All right, talk about valuable people. My boy Mac McClung won the MVP of the G League. I've been wondering for a long time, how come this boy is not in the NBA? He's so good. We all remember him from that dunk contest, and I've been watching him ever since he was in high school. He has one of my favorite highlight tapes of all time. You can go to YouTube, type in Mac McClung high school mixtape. You'll be amazed. I mean, he's just a short kid who can jump out the gym. That's why people really like him. But he also can ball like that. Like, he really is good. But a lot of people, like myself, are wondering, how come he's not in the NBA? They go, well, he's not ready. He's so short. He can't really play. We'll put him in the G League. Well, he's the best player in the entire G League. Doesn't that mean he's probably ready for the NBA when you're the absolute best player in the G League? So we all knew. I mean, my Wizards are the worst. The Wizards are the worst team in franchise history right now, worst record in franchise history. Why wouldn't the Wizards just sign this man, Greg Palmer? I wish they would rename the award Player of the Year or something. Well, most valuable, I feel like, is a good way of saying that. But I see what you're saying. But what do you think, Greg Palmer? Do you think Mac McClung deserves to be in the NBA at this point? He's the best player in the G League. Can't the Wizards have him as like a backup shooting guard or something? Like, who do we even have? Like, the Wizards are so messed up right now, I don't even know who the shooting guard is. Wizards would end his career as soon as it starts. Come on. We need somebody to energize this franchise, this fan base. It might be Mac McClung. But yeah, he's good. And he's not just a dunker. Check this out. He's developed a sky hook, which when I was a young basketball player, I had this great idea to develop the sky hook as well because it's an unblockable shot. But I could never do it because it's really hard to pull off.
Mac, the sky hook.
Sky hook way. From Mac. This is a highlight film of sky hooks. So, because when you're a short guy like Mac, when you're short, you got to develop ways to not get your shot blocked. And this is the ultimate technique to not get your shot blocked. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar popularized it. It's called the sky hook. It's a hell of a shot. Young high school basketball players, if you're watching right now, don't be afraid to develop a nice sky hook. With the left, too. When you're going left and right sky hooks, you're a really, really talented shooter. I like it. So he's got an unblockable shot, and if you're a short guy, you got to develop an unblockable shot. Speaking of my Wizards, Ted Leonis has talked to Governor Wes Moore about arena plans. So a little bit of a background information on this. The Wizards just tried to move, and they got denied by the government or something. They literally tried to move to Virginia out of Washington, D.C. They got denied. They tried their best, but they have to stay. And now he's talking to the governor about an arena. All right, they've been playing at, I forget what the arena's called. We used to call it the phone booth, the Verizon Center. What's it called now? Capital One Arena. So it looks like they're still trying to move, which is probably because all the crime in D.C. is getting so bad in all these inner city areas. The crime is getting so bad, a lot of big organizations like this are moving out. I wonder where they want to move to, or are they just building a new stadium in D.C.? Either way, I'm kind of excited because this franchise needs some change. Hopefully they stay in D.C. or move back to Baltimore because that would be cool. Because this franchise started out as the Baltimore Bullets. And if he's talking to Wes Moore, maybe he's moving back to Baltimore. That's speculation right now, but that would be really cool. Yeah, and I just talked about it. The Wizards, they're the worst team in franchise history. The Wizards have been bad basically my entire lifetime, but they've never been as bad as they have been this year. They're still my team, though, okay? But I legitimately think I'd be a better head coach and a better GM. Like I was talking about Daniel Gafford. They gave away Daniel Gafford, and I knew he was a great big man in this league. As soon as they gave Daniel Gafford to the Mavs, he tied Wilt Chamberlain's record for most consecutive field goals. And then he did it again, 20 for 20, and then he had another 20 for 20 game back-to-back. Became like the only player in NBA history to do it. And we gave him away because we don't know what we're doing. We're acting like Kyle Kuzma is like a franchise player. Jordan Poole has been a complete bust. He's playing a little bit better now. But we just lose and lose and lose. And hopefully we can get a good draft pick. Because if you're going to lose every single game, can you at least have a good history of draft picks? Name me one good draft pick the Wizards have ever got. John Wall and Bradley Beal. I guess that was a good one. But that's basically it. Oh, my God. One of the best bloopers in NBA history took place this week. Everybody was talking about it. It yielded this great picture for us. So what got into Andre Drummond's head where he just wanted to ruin a play for his team? I don't know what happened, but you just have to see it.
He had landed awkwardly.
What is he doing? A guy throws an alley-oop to himself, it looks like, off the glass, and he tries to grab it and dunk it, and he messes him up. I've never seen anything like it. Drummond is such a goofball sometimes. He's a great player, one of the best rebounders in NBA history. But what are you doing, bro? I guess he thought he was throwing... okay, yeah, that's what happened. He thought he was throwing it off the glass to someone behind him. Kind of like D-Wade to LeBron. Because that does happen a lot. But what, you can't see that he's clearly going up for it himself? So funny. The Knicks caught a break there. Too funny, man. Two Bulls players missed a dunk. Look at the screenshot there. Another angle. Yeah, that angle, it really kind of seems like, why wouldn't you throw it off the glass to Drummond? Get your teammates involved. I bet the fans would probably like that more. But he didn't even know Drummond was back there. Yeah.
Wow. And now the concern is with Drummond at the other.
Dude, and Drummond just runs back like nothing happened. That's a funny part. Look at him. Hey, that was totally fine. Let's get back on D, fellas. Well, you do got to get back on D. So funny. Well, he was going to miss that dunk anyway, too. This clip gets better and better the more you look at it. Was he going to miss this dunk anyway? Did Drummond really kind of bail him out? Really look at this. He kind of loses control of the ball before Drummond. Yeah. I don't think he was going to dunk that. Drummond or no Drummond, he wasn't going to finish that. That was wild. Let's move on. All right, we got to talk about Wemby. That's a big topic on this show, big theme of the show. I'm obsessed with this rookie from San Antonio. He's the best defensive player of all time in NBA history, and he's a rookie because he's so tall. Look at this. Defensive Player of the Year candidates. Steals per game. He is doubling Rudy Gobert. More than Bam, more than Jared Allen, more than Anthony Davis. Blocks per game, 3.5. When's the last time we had a guy with 3.5 blocks a game? I wonder what the highest is ever. I got to look that up. But he is destroying everybody. Deflections per game. And then defensive rating on and off difference. -12. When Wemby is on the floor, -12 points. Compare that to Rudy Gobert, -4. And Bam, -6. That should be the rating that really decides Defensive Player of the Year. Kind of like we were talking about the plus minus. That should just be what decides the MVP. Well, this rating right here, defensive rating on and off difference, That should just be what decides it. And Anthony Davis is a plus. Man, these stats really expose some guys. How would Anthony Davis be a plus 1.5? He really is not that good at defense then. But not Victor Wembanyama. Negative 12. That's got to be one of the highest ratings in that stats history. Sorry, I didn't know how to say that. And this is the kind of effect he has on the game. Look at this. This really blew my mind this week. Here's an example of what teams have to do when Wemby is around. So here's a 3-on-1. 3 Grizzlies versus 1 Wemby. Fast break. This should be easy. They teach this in youth basketball. This is an easy convert. They get scared. They don't know what to do. 3-on-1. And he just stays there with his long arms. Stops the fast break. Just puts those arms out and says, where the fuck are you going to go? Really watch this. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? They are terrified. They don't want to get blocked. Like, we've never seen a player like this that demands this kind of respect on the court. And he's even got the offensive moves. I can't believe he pulled out the Sham God this week. He can dribble. Great defender, great offense. I think he's going to be the greatest basketball player of all time. He's having an even better rookie year than LeBron James. We're really seeing the GOAT right now. We're seeing the young GOAT. And the Spurs have been so lucky. Of all rookies over the last 25 seasons, Victor Wembanyama ranks first in blocks, second in rebounds, third in points, and 88th in minutes. That is wild. So think about that. First in blocks, because 3.5 is incredible. That's an insane amount of blocks. 3.5 blocks per game. Second in rebounds, and we're talking the last 25 years. So probably like David Robinson or Tim Duncan, 2 other Spurs rookies, probably have the number 1 spot there. Third in points was still very high, especially when you're first and second in blocks and rebounds. But then when it comes to minutes a game, 88th. So the Spurs, they're resting him. They're treating him well. 88th in minutes per game. Not even in the top 50. So they're barely playing him when you compare him to other top picks in the last 25 years. And he's getting all these numbers. We're watching the greatest basketball player of all time. All right. I told you this was coming up later. Tallest players in NBA history. Let's just do a little refresher. It's always interesting. George Mirasan. Great Wizard/Bullets player. Yeah, he's 7'7". He's probably from the Balkans too, right? Mirasan. Balkan Out of Control. Manute Bol. Yep. And he's got a son in the NBA too. Bol. He plays on the Suns. Taco Fall. He wasn't very good, but he was tall. Yao Ming. He was very good. And he was created by the Chinese government. All right. They forced the 2 tallest, best basketball players in their country to mate, and they made Yao Ming. And that's a true story. That's not a joke. Sean Bradley. I remember him. Don't remember him. He wasn't very good. I mean, let's get real. He was cool, but he wasn't very good either. And now you got him, who will be probably the best basketball player of all time. Oh, I missed that question earlier. Sorry, King Kai. Do I think a Baltimore basketball team would thrive? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I definitely do. Get the Baltimore Bullets back in Baltimore. People would like that. I got my eyes on the chat now. My bad, guys. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. Forgot to check on the chat for a little bit. I always put a few Knicks topics in here just in case Kenny Flight is in the building. But he is sick today. Shout out to Kenny. Hopefully he'll be here next week. He's a big Knicks fan, and the Knicks are balling out of control. Jalen Brunson definitely doesn't get the credit he deserves. Jalen Brunson now has more 40-point games in a season than Carmelo ever did with the Knicks. And Carmelo gets all the respect in the world as a Knick. Like he was like the greatest scorer in franchise history or something. And he might have been. But Jalen Brunson right up there with him. He has more 40-point games than Carmelo ever did. And Carmelo was that green light, shoot it whenever you want kind of player. And Jalen Brunson is probably an even more prolific scorer than he was. And Jalen Brunson is short with short arms, too. He really is incredible.
Brunson coming off another strong game the other night as well. Draws the foul.
Kind of like Matt McClung, another short guy thriving in basketball. How does he do it?
He's guarding Brunson. Brunson using the screen. Fires away.
All you got to do is put that ball in the hole.
Shot clock at 8.
Doesn't matter how tall you are. Man. Yeah, he's crafty.
It's just incredible at his size what he's doing night in and night out.
It is incredible. Well said.
Jalen Brunson. Shot clock at 9. Drives on Lillard. Goes inside.
And he was a Dallas Maverick, too. They let him go. I mean, they're happy with Kyrie and everything, but they did have this guy at one point. Yeah, he definitely deserves some respect. And these Knicks deserve some respect. They got a nice new batch of players, and I've never even heard of this guy, but he's making waves. Most threes made in a season in New York Knicks history. This is an interesting-looking guy, isn't it? Is he like a ginger? DiVincenzo. Yeah, never heard of this guy, but he's balling out of control, too. I know Kenny's happy. Hey, I got a real question for everybody. Drop it in the chat. Here's the question. Are you sick of hearing about Caitlin Clark? Are you tired of hearing about this girl? Man, she's been the talk of the world for so long. And I feel like, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, Nikola Jokic is now really, the haters are coming out. They're hearing about him too much. The greatness is too much. I definitely feel like we got some haters coming out for Caitlin Clark. And even myself, I'm starting to get sick of hearing about it. But not really. But it is. I mean, we hear about this girl every single day now. Iowa to retire Caitlin Clark's number 22 jersey. Biggest impact that anyone's ever had on female college basketball. There will never be another 22. There will never be another Caitlin Clark, and there will never be a number 22. The Hawkeyes will retire Caitlin Clark's 22. Probably fitting. Probably fitting. She deserves it. No one's ever had a bigger impact, so you got to do it. She's awesome. And I guess it's pretty set in stone that she's going to the WNBA, because I've been the one asking the question, are you sure she's going to the WNBA? Can they even afford her? I don't know if they can afford her, because, I mean, she generated, in the last 2 games of the women's college basketball tournament, she generated over 30 million views. I think it was 16 million and then like another 16 million. I mean, that is going to generate big money in the WNBA. They have never turned a profit, I believe, in their league's history. How can they afford her? But we're getting a lot of articles like this that are saying 36 out of the Indiana Fever's 40 games will be nationally televised this year. So that to me is saying that they're assuming that they're going to draft Caitlin Clark and that everyone is going to want to watch. But I don't know if the WNBA can even afford her. I think it's a legit shot that she goes to the big 3. But they probably know something that I don't, and she'll probably just go to the WNBA and ink some kind of record-breaking deal. Oh, Christian, you're a Detroit Pistons fan? Yeah, we're both at the bottom of the league. Detroit Pistons broke the record for most losses in a row this season. So I feel your pain. You feel my pain. Shout out to everybody who's a fan of a bad sports team. And yeah, the Aces are even moving to T-Mobile Arena.
Clark. And while it's a given she's going to be drafted number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever,
they're saying it's a given.
Are already preparing for her arrival.
Why wouldn't she go to the highest paycheck?
Venue change for their July 2nd matchup against the Fever. Their current arena holds 12,000 seats, but they're moving to play at the T-Mobile Arena, which holds 20,000. So you can tell that the Aces think Caitlin is going to draw a sellout crowd.
So well, this is interesting. So the Las Vegas WNBA team has already booked a bigger venue for when the team that most likely drafts Caitlin Clark comes to town. That was a mouthful, but did you hear all that? Yeah, the Las Vegas WNBA team has already booked a venue for when Caitlin Clark comes to town. She hasn't even been drafted yet. They're already making arrangements because they know the crowd's going to be that big. That is incredible. Say what you want about Caitlin Clark. No opposing team has ever had to rent a bigger venue because LeBron was coming to town, you know? They have to rent out a bigger venue because of the other team's star player that hasn't even been drafted yet. That really is crazy. Oh, yeah, and the the men's college basketball tournament also took place, and the UConn Huskies, they won it all. But this moment with their coach really, really fascinated me. This guy's a psycho. Like, of course you can't do this.
Nobody else does major damage.
He comes out on the floor and just pushes his player, like, get out there, you're supposed to be moving. Run the damn play. What a prick, man. He just looks like such a prick to me. I don't know. It's good to be passionate about your job. But, of course, you're not allowed to go out on the court and push your player forward. You want to take the ball for him, too? Put it in the hole for him? That is wild. Right in front of the ref and everything. The audacity. I would have given him a tech. The audacity. And he's like, what? I'm not allowed to do that. Like, he's playing dumb and everything. I don't like it at all. This guy's kind of annoying to me. What are you doing, sir? How about you just take a seat on the bench like Phil Jackson? Now, he had some class. But his player is driving him crazy. Run the damn play. What I do? I just push the player. I can coach, but I can't push? Thought this was America. Speaking of coaches, speaking of bad coaches, I called this one from the very beginning. All right? The Bucks are crazy. Any Bucks fans in the chat? Got a Piston fan in the chat. Do we have any Bucks fans? Because the Bucks, if you know anything about the NBA, they're a great team. They've won a championship recently. They got a great player in Giannis, one of the best players in NBA history. And they started 30-13. 30-13, a record that a lot of franchises would kill for. The Wizards would literally kill for that record. And they go, no, not good enough for us. We need to do much better. And who knows why we're playing so bad? It must be the coach. They fire their perfectly good coach, a guy named Adrian Griffin, because of a 30-13 record. And they hire someone who's supposed to be an iconically great coach, even though he only won one championship with a completely stacked Boston Celtics roster. Yeah, this guy wins one championship with the big three Celtics, and we all think he's like the greatest coach ever. Well, this proves that he's definitely not. They should have stuck with Adrian Griffin, but instead they fire him because he lost 13 games. And they hired Doc Rivers. Now they're 15-15 ever since. Of course. Because I'll be the first to tell you, coaching doesn't really matter, especially in the NBA. Like, you're telling me these players have become the best players in the world at their sport, and they still need some guy telling them what to do? There's no way that's possible. Maybe a guy to call the plays, to organize everything. But it's not like a new head coach is going to make your team that much better. It's all about the players. Am I wrong on that? I don't think coaching really makes that big of a difference. I think that's something that franchises do just to make their fans happy. You know, because when you're not doing good, somebody's got to pay. So somebody's got to get the axe. Somebody's got to get their head chopped off. And most of the time, it's the head coach. But as you can see time and time again, most of the time it makes no difference or the opposite of a difference. Because really, I mean, I bet he just kind of shook up the how familiar everyone was with the game plan and everything. Like, they've been working with Adrian Griffin for years now, and you shake all that up and bring in Doc Rivers? I don't know. It just was a dumb move to me. Let's move on. I think that does it for sports, everybody. We did it. We made it through the sports section. That was a very long sports section this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but it's time to move on to other things. It's time for the music section, everybody. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got tons of great stuff on our channel. The shorts section is crazy right now. We actually broke a record for channel views in a month. Thank you so much for helping us out. We're going up and up and up. This podcast is really blowing up. We broke a record for channel views in a month and watch hours. All right. So those are the two greatest statistics that we have as podcasts. Keep watching the show, keep sharing the show, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. And if you want to be a executive producer of the show, it's pretty easy to do it. It's only $2 a month, and it comes with a couple different perks. You get special shout-outs just like this. That's right. Shout out one more time to our executive producers of the show. We got Diane Hartman and Brittany Blair. They believe in this show so much, they have agreed to pay $2 a month, and they get the special executive producer shout-outs every single episode, and they also get special members-only streams. Remember I was talking about the showcase coming up May 2nd? Well, members, the executive producers of this channel, they got a big perk coming on May 2nd. If you can't make it to Warehouse on May 2nd, you'll be able to stream the showcase live from this page, but members only, all right? Members only stream right here is where you'll find it. It will go live on May 2nd at 10 p.m., and this is going to be a fun way that all the members of this page can kind of watch something together, comment on it, and that's only if you can't make it there in person this May 2nd, all right? I'm going to be streaming it for all the people who can't be there in person. All you got to do is pay $2. And you could pay $2 and then cancel right after the event. That's totally an option. All right. So $2 basically to watch this event online and $10 to be there in person. May 2nd, guys. I can't say it enough. It's going to be one of the biggest showcases in Eastern Shore history. C-Mac, Slimy Tana, Paulie De Niro performing live. Mark your calendar and make sure you're there. We're all going to be celebrating and having an amazing time. All right. It's time for the music section. Spotify is in the news, guys. Spotify has made a major announcement. Spotify is raising their monthly prices very soon. All right, all these subscription services, the prices are going up. Inflation is crazy ever since Joe Biden has become president. All right. Man, we had a good thing going. We had a good thing going with Trump. Hopefully he gets back in there. But all the subscription services are going up, and Spotify is no different. They're about to raise their prices. And not only that, they're about to start demonetizing small artists. This is going to impact a lot of local artists. All tracks with less than 1,000 annual streams will be demonetized soon. So if you have less than 1,000 plays, streams on your Spotify song, you're getting zero money from that, which you're basically getting zero anyway. That's like pennies. That's chump change. So if you have under 1,000 streams on your music right now, you have other problems, all right? Don't even worry about the Spotify monetization. You need to get your fan base in order. You need to figure out why people don't like your music, because this is a story, but it really isn't a story. I kind of agree with Spotify. They shouldn't have to pay every single song on their platform when it's so insignificant like that. Because if you're not getting 1,000 streams on your song, it's very insignificant. You don't really deserve anything. You know what I mean? Because it's show business. It's all about getting eyeballs, attracting vision, making engagement, and under 1,000 streams, that's nothing. All right. Nobody wants to advertise with you. Nobody wants access to your platform. Nobody wants access to your audience. So yeah, I'm here to tell you, if you got less than 1,000 streams on your songs, you have bigger problems than Spotify. You got to figure out why your music, why nobody relates to it, why nobody likes listening to it. Yeah, start thinking of it that way. And I urge all our local artists, get your music streams up. Great time to be an artist. You just got to get your streams up. That's free mailbox money. Start sending some DMs. Start making some marketing campaigns. Figure it out, guys. Trial and error. You can do it. And one more shout out to the playlist, guys. DJ KP Classics on Spotify. All the greatest songs of my career. You know I got original music, right? Some people don't know that for some reason. Yeah, type in DJ KP on Spotify. I got a song with Trap Beckham. Literally have a song with Trap Beckham. That's Mr. Birthday Bitch himself. 1 time for the birthday chick, 2 times for the birthday chick. We've all heard that song. I have a song with him, and I'm probably going to get Trap Beckham on the podcast pretty soon, so look forward to that. Really appreciate the opportunity of being able to work with Trap Beckham. Iconic superstar. And a bunch of other songs, too, on here. Got music with YNG Mac J, music with Tre'vell, Dayron, J No. Tons of great stuff, guys. Go check me out. I'm on Spotify, and make sure you type in DJ KP Classics and follow the playlist. Morgan Wallen is in the news, guys. Man, country music has really had a resurgence in the last 5 years. And I was right there at the forefront DJing at Cowboy Coast. Rest in peace. They have closed. That was the latest country nightclub in the history of the world. But yeah, ever since about 5 years ago, country music really, really making a resurgence in this country. And Morgan Wallen has become the biggest star there is in the genre. Well, he has kind of proven to us that he's a wild boy, especially when he's drinking. He's definitely a wild man. He likes to party, and he goes crazy when he's had a few too many drinks. He's been arrested on 3 felony charges. A guy like Morgan Wallen arrested on 3 felony charges in Nashville. What was he doing? I thought I had that clip too, but I'll just tell you, he was at a Nashville bar that was owned by another big country star. I forget which one. But either way, he's at a Nashville bar, and it's a bar with like 3 or 4 stories. He's up on the balcony. He throws a chair off the balcony. Gets arrested for reckless endangerment. Apparently the chair landed right next to a police officer. It was a big thing. But yeah, this guy is an absolute wild boy. Call him Steve-O, because he's a wild boy. He get a few too many drinks in him. There's no telling what he will do. We all remember the Driveway video a few years back. When he has a few drinks, there's literally no telling what this man will do. And we're starting to learn that about him. He has released a statement about it. He says, Morgan Wallen doesn't know when to stop drinking. Problem that keeps coming around. And that was from an exclusive source. Hey, man, he's a partier. Hopefully he gets it under control. Addiction, definitely a problem in this country. Yeah, he's wild. I think that's all I got to say about that one. All right, here's something from the music section. Here's a little clip of me DJing live on Power. We were actually live on location in Rehoboth Beach at a brand new grocery outlet. And I just thought this was actually a pretty good clip, so I'm going to show it to you. Here's a DJ KP in action. This is one of my favorite wordplay mashups. Let's talk over this. Don't get copywritten.
DJ KP, mash it up.
Is that not the greatest wordplay transition in the history of DJing? Or am I just feeling myself too much? I don't know. That is a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. That one works every time, too. You get some birthday girls. And then, of course, I go into Trap Beckham right after that routine most of the time when I'm in the nightclubs. Works every time. Gets every single birthday girl on the dance floor. Little trick for all you fellow DJs out there. Go ahead and steal that one. I will not mind. All right, let's get into some more old music because, of course, both those songs were from the 2000s. This one was almost from the 2000s. 25 years ago, TLC's No Scrubs hit #1. What a jam that was. 2 bombs for Scrubs. That was a simpler time. When TLC was on TRL, that was a good time. TRL with Carson Daly. That was great, man. Take me back to 1999 with TLC. It became the group's 3rd #1 after Creep and Waterfalls. Waterfalls was so huge too, man. People don't remember how big TLC was. Left Eye, was it Cherish? And I can't remember the other one. It's been too long. But I really enjoyed their music videos. Unseen Tupac Shakur mugshots from 1993. I was 3 years old. Man, he has a real youthful look to him, doesn't he? Huge scar on his face. Apparently, these are unseen until now. He looks like a little kid, man. He's got a lot of youth to his facial features. Another older musician, Lenny Kravitz. Looking great. He's 60 years old now. Lenny Kravitz from that song Fly Away. He also got a song with Peggy Gou out right now that I love playing on the radio called I Believe in Love Again. Yeah, he's still around, guys, because he takes care of himself. Look at him working out at 60 years old. He's a great musician, too. I do like some Lenny Kravitz songs. He's a musician's musician. I mean, he's a real musician, yeah. He ain't no rapper. And he's strong as hell. That is not an easy exercise to do. Because the part where he extends above his head, that takes a lot of shoulder strength. Hey, man, makes me want to hit the gym. Who's hitting the gym this summer? Who's hitting the gym this summer? Ladies, gentlemen, let's all get in shape. Let's all get in shape. The weather is turning, too, isn't it, guys? I'm loving it. I spent basically all yesterday out on my back deck, and the weather was about 70 degrees, sunny. Got a little vitamin D, got some sun on my skin. I'm a real pale guy, you know, so I can soak up the sun real quick. Doesn't take me long. Didn't get burnt, so that was cool. But, yeah, I love it when the weather starts to turn. Makes me want to hit the gym, right? Who's getting in shape this summer? I'm going to get in shape this summer. That's my big goal. Anybody else feeling like that? Oh, my gosh. Here's another big trend in the music world right now. The Megan Thee Stallion challenge has completely changed my timelines, my social media pages, because the ladies are obsessed with it, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I'm seeing a lot of posts like this. Check this out. This guy just made a post on his Facebook. Literally every female on my timeline. I guess this is all y'all got to offer, huh? Look at this. He's just posting a screenshot of his actual stories. Every single girl on his story is just twerking, ass right in front of the camera. Couldn't get any closer. What kind of trend is this, honestly, ladies? Are you participating in this trend? Let me know. Or do we have any ladies in the chat right now? Just the fellas. Fellas, what do you think of the trend? Are you liking seeing this up in the story section of your Facebook? Are you like, geez, is it everybody? Give it a rest, ladies. Because, honestly, I think it's too much sometimes. I'm a married man, and I can't even accept friend requests anymore because I used to just blindly accept friend requests because the more people following me, the better because they might watch the show. But now, if I accept a request from a random chick, there's a 50% chance she's going to show her ass up in my story section. And I don't want that. I'm a family man. I don't need that in my life. So now I got to vet every single girl who sends a request. And not even like they're going to make an advance on me or anything. Just the fact that they will put their ass in their story. And it's like, I'm good on that, all right? Not everybody wants to see that shit. Have some self-respect. And it all comes from this Megan Thee Stallion challenge. And there's a reason why I'm showing this clip right here, all right? If y'all want to do what Megan Thee Stallion does, how about you also hit that gym like Megan Thee Stallion does? As you can notice, she's in the gym right now, ladies, all right? So if you're really going to be showing your ass and everything on social media, at least take care of yourself. Hit the gym this summer. Not everybody needs to be doing this like Megan Thee Stallion. Leave it to her, all right? Leave it to her. Leave it to Lotto. Or hit the gym and give us something to look at. Megan Thee Stallion also in more music news. And I kind of agree with her here. She says a lot of people didn't treat me like I was human for a long time after the Tory Lanez shooting aftermath. And it kind of did feel like that. I realized how popular Tory Lanez was with this whole news story. Like, I mean, he shot at this lady, and every single Tory Lanez fan just basically became mad at Megan. And I probably got some Tory Lanez fans watching the show right now. What's up? Why do you hate Megan for being shot at? Did she deserve it in your mind? Did she not get shot in your mind? What is the real scoop to this? Because, yeah, the war between Tory Lanez fans and Megan Thee Stallion fans doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you shoot her and now your fans hate her. What did she do? Did she do anything? I always thought that was fascinating. Hey, that does it for the music section. And now we got one more section left, the random section. Little reminder, we got a big showcase coming up May 2nd. C-Mac, Slimy Tana, and Paulie De Niro live in concert. If you want to be there, it's only going to be $10 cover. Mark your calendar, May 2nd. That's a Thursday night at Warehouse. It's going to be huge. Okay, here's a good one in the random section. Let's all react. So you know it was the NCAA tournament wrapped up a few nights ago, and UConn won the championship. So let's see how much of a fool the UConn fans are going to act. Because after any championship, after any major championship, I got to find the videos of the fans acting completely ridiculous. And this is what I got for you today. Got some UConn students. One more time, they're chanting. Head right through the glass. Head right through the glass. These college kids are crazy. Got the phones out. They're documenting it. And it says it all. They're chanting one more time. The glass is already busted but not broke. And, of course, we get the final blow on this viral video. So I guess he's been slamming his head into a window possibly 10, 15 times. And everyone knows this last one's going to break it. And they chant, and he does it. How many brain cells did he lose? He's in college. He's over here banging his head on a window. You got to love it. You got to love it. And guess what? Biden still is trying to cancel all student loan debt. And meanwhile, they're going to college and they're doing shit like this. Is anyone else sick of hearing about the canceling of the student loan debt? You've tried it like 3 or 4 times now. You didn't do it. Either do it or shut up, and don't do it either. Because, yeah, some people signed up for a loan that they knew exactly what they were doing, and now they don't want to pay it back. Who cares? Life goes on. But yeah, I'm starting to get kind of annoyed that these talks are still going on. Because, of course, it's like a little carrot he dangles in front of his voters every so often. I'm going to get rid of student loan debt. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. He never does it. He's not going to do it. And even if he did do it, it'd be a bad idea. Because money doesn't just... The money comes from the taxpayer, all right? If we're going to forgive the student loans, that means every taxpayer in America is going to put their money toward these students that don't want to pay their college bills. Sorry, you shouldn't have signed up. I mean, you want to learn a lot. That's why you went to college. Well, learn from your mistake and just move on with your life. And obviously, it's not their fault. Joe Biden just wants to fool everybody into voting for him. So he's just saying yet again for like the 5th time, I might cancel student loan debt. Oh, this was a wild clip. Let's get back into the wild stuff.
From a nearby construction site. Watch this again. The man walking into a neighborhood market. Seconds later, the blade
Life is crazy.
Through the parking lot, slamming into the wall of the store just inches from the door. From the inside of the door, you can see the impact shake the building. Remarkably, no one...
So this guy was walking into a hardware store or something, and a runaway sawmill blade. That is like a runaway sawmill blade. That is crazy. I wonder what that would have really done to him. Would that have stuck right in his leg? And I also want to point out that there's an incompetency epidemic right now in this world. Look at the headline. The headline is terrible. Oregon man nearly escapes death. That implies that he died. And I feel like they're not even trying to be clickbait. I feel like they're too stupid. They just don't know how words work. Yeah, Oregon man nearly escapes death. If you nearly escape death, that means you died. So horrible headline. Journalism is dead. Everyone sucks at what they do. Nah, I'm getting negative. Oh, this is a great clip right here because it reminds me of me. It reminds me of me when I'm at a DJ gig and things aren't going so well, but I'm trying to keep it cool. No one really knows, but maybe I can't get the next song ready in time or something like that, and I'm starting to panic a little bit. And but then a photo op comes up. This is exactly what it feels like.
It's not even the fact a regular conversation with you, and you're just
Hilarious clip.
It's not even the fact a regular.
Too funny, man. Have you ever been there before?
And you're just
You're absolutely.
It's not even the fact.
You're absolutely emotional, and you don't realize a good friend is watching you. So you try to act like you're all right, dude. That's so funny. That cracks me up, man. But yeah, that analogy I was working with earlier, that really is how it feels. Let's say you're a DJ. That last track is ending in 30 seconds. You have no idea what to play next. People are asking for requests, and then a camera comes up. You just got to stop what you're doing. Hey, what's up? Cool DJ guy. Then go back to panicking real quick. That's what it feels like. Weird clip. This might be a good way to get waking up in the morning if the coffee's not working. I don't know. Weird kids doing stuff for clicks on the internet.
Whoa!
Horseshoe crab to the face.
That feels so creepy, but as you can see, completely harmless. That is such a cool animal.
Okay. I did learn something, though.
Whoa.
Harmless. That's good to know.
See that?
Well, if you step on that tail, you're going to get stung,
That
right?
feels so creepy, but as you can see...
That was always a myth when I was growing up. Those tails could kill you. Right? That tail, does it have poison or is it just just sharp? A lot of eclipse news this week. It was a pretty fun eclipse, I guess. I didn't really see it too much. I didn't have the special glasses, and we were in Maryland. But it did say internet activity plummeted as people went outside to watch the solar eclipse. So that's a good part about the solar eclipse. Got people off their phones, off the internet, got them outside into the real world. But what were they doing outside in the real world off their phones? They were killing people, all right? This is a crazy story. 22-year-old woman from Georgia went on a God-directed shooting spree because of the solar eclipse. That is just crazy, right? Imagine you just got arrested. They're like, why'd you do it? Why'd you kill him? And you're thinking, oh, I need a good excuse. There was a solar eclipse. The eclipse told me to do it. You can't get me. You got nothing on me. The eclipse told me to do it. That's next level crazy. Trying to come up with an excuse to get you out of jail. You go, oh, I got the perfect one. There was an eclipse today. That's next level crazy. Our boy Trump was watching the eclipse. Let's see how this went.
Oh my God.
Wow, even the eclipse knows. Fuck that guy.
This is
Just a little joke. Just a little Trump joke. But speaking of Trump, he was recently at a Chick-fil-A.
And also some chicken. I'm going to take care of the customers. Is business good? You making a lot of money?
He was at a Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, ordered 30 milkshakes to give out to people. He's always going into fast food restaurants and connecting with the people. I'd like to meet Trump one day, man. Why does everyone think he's so bad? He seems kind of cool to me. And it was a good time when he was president. Let's all celebrate him this time around when he's in office. You know what I mean? Life is not that bad. Life is bad now with Joe Biden as president. Think about it. Just try it out. Try celebrating him when he's back in office. I think we'll all have a better time as a country. Oh man, this is a bad news story. Seems like one story per KP in the morning. It's just kind of got to be terrible and sad. But this is that story today. Kiara Jones was recorded beating and stomping on a nonverbal autistic child. Now look how evil this clip is. It's hard to imagine that people like this exist. because, I mean, you can see it all on just the way she's acting. She's looking around, she's making sure no one's seeing, and she's just giving these punches to this kid who's got disabilities, obviously has you there because it needs a supervisor, it needs an adult, they need. And she is just taking this opportunity to hit it. To hit them. I don't know why I keep saying it. And it's just crazy that people can act like this. Elbows. I mean, she's looking around. Why? Why do you have an impulse to hurt a child with disabilities? I would love to hear this woman's excuse, the reasoning. Could you even come up with anything? Despicable, man. Hopefully she gets what's coming to her. She should be in jail for a long time. Because you can't trust her. She's looking around, making sure, hey, no one sees this. She's being terrible. Lock her up. You can't trust her. And she's proving that right here. Crazy clip. Crazy clip. Oh, this is another terrible clip. Guys, I know we've all seen a person like this. Can we start shaming people like this out in public? This is crazy. And we've all seen it. I run a rap studio. I've seen it in my studio before. It's horrible. It's disgusting. Guys who just have their pants all the way down, past the cheeks. Nothing but underwear showing. That is absolutely disgusting. And Bailey's in Dover. This is from Bailey's in Dover. Look at all the people around him. He's got a great radius of space. Nobody wants to get too close. When you see someone like that, you should just be able to say, pull your pants up. You look like an idiot. What are you even trying? What do you want? What kind of attention do you want right now? Like, what are you trying to prove? What is the reasoning behind this? And we're taking it off the screen. Here's a fun one. Let's get back into the good mood. Hey, I'm a 90s baby. I grew up on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. All right? Mainly cartoons, some live action stuff. But here we go. We got Barstool Sports. What was the best childhood show? They got a little bracket going. And let's go through this entire bracket, see if we can figure this out. All right, first up, we got SpongeBob versus Tom and Jerry. Man, Tom and Jerry is an OG. You know, Tom and Jerry was actually first made for deaf children, or just deaf people in general, which makes sense because they didn't talk. Man, that's a tough first-round matchup because you got to give all the respect in the world to Tom and Jerry, but SpongeBob wins that battle. SpongeBob going on to the next round there. All right, next up, we got Dexter's Lab versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage is iconic show, but there's no way it beats Dexter's Lab. Dexter's Lab is a clear favorite in that matchup. It moves on to the next round. All right, Full House versus Cat Dog. Cat Dog it never left our memories because it was such a weird show, crazy concept, cat, dog combination. But let's get real. What's your favorite cat dog joke? What's your favorite cat dog moment? It was all forgotten. It was all pretty mundane, pretty basic, pretty dull show. It was a good show, but there's no way it beats Full House. Full House moves on to the next round. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy battle next. Rugrats versus Fairly Odd Parents. This is a tough one. Fairly Odd Parents, one of the greatest cartoons in Nickelodeon history. If you watched that show growing up, it really was next level. The jokes were next level. The production was next level. It just seemed like they had a better team going on. I think it might have been the same studio that produced Powerpuff and Dexter's Lab. But either way, Fairly Odd Parents was an amazing show. But I got to give a slight edge to the Rugrats because they won all those Kids' Choice Awards. They broke all the records for like 10 years in a row, winning Best Show. Rugrats had a hell of a run. They probably did more seasons. Rugrats, hard to beat. Next up, we got Hey Arnold versus Pinky and the Brain. That's a no-brainer, no pun intended. I love Pinky and the Brain, the Animaniacs, all that good stuff, iconic stuff. But Hey Arnold is one of the best shows in cartoon history. Here we go. Arnold. Oh, yeah, you remember that shit. So, Hey Arnold moves on to the next round for me. Oh, my God. Scooby-Doo versus Doug. Wow, that's a tough one. But you got to go with Scooby-Doo. Iconic 60s cartoon. I mean, when a cartoon starts in the 60s and you got real hippies in the cartoon like Shaggy, and that's crazy. You got people wearing ascots in your cartoon because it's from the... Is that what it's called? Those things that people would tie around their necks. When you're wearing that kind of stuff because it's a cartoon from the 60s, you got to give it its respect. And I'm going to say Scooby-Doo moves on to the next round. Sorry, Doug. Doug was a great show. I loved Doug. But Scooby-Doo is a classic cartoon that people will never forget. Great concept, mystery solving. It had mystery, it had funny, it had everything. It had scary. Great show. Next up, oh my God, another crazy matchup. Rocket Power versus All That. Oh my gosh. Rocket Power, one of the greatest cartoons in the history of Nickelodeon. Didn't have very many seasons, and All That was groundbreaking. It had a lot of seasons. First sketch comedy show for children. All That moves on to the next round. Wow, this last matchup I don't give a shit about. Drake and Josh I never watched, and Avatar I never watched. I'm going to give the edge to Drake and Josh because we're not doing anime here. All right, second round. SpongeBob versus Dexter's Lab. Wow, it's only going to get more difficult. Oh my gosh. Personally, I want to say Dexter's Lab, but as a globe, we're going to say SpongeBob. Full House versus Rugrats. Oh my God. That's so difficult. I'm going to go with Rugrats. And then we got Hey Arnold versus Scooby-Doo. Damn, these are getting tough. I'm going to go with Hey Arnold. That's me personally. All That versus Drake and Josh. All That all the way. Okay, next round. SpongeBob versus Rugrats. Damn. I'm going to go with SpongeBob. And then we got Hey Arnold versus All That. I'm going to go Hey Arnold. And then Rugrats versus Hey Arnold for the championship round. And I got to go with Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold, greatest cartoon in the history of kids shows. We just decided it. All right, one goofy clip to end on, guys, and then we're getting out of here. It's been one hell of a show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in with me. This guy just loses control of the bike there. Classic freeze-up moment where you're activating the throttle of the bike and you get so scared that you can't stop throttling and you just go faster and faster and you run through a couple fences because that's not just one fence. That's a 2-fence run through. Fence number 1 and fence number 2. Wow. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to KP in the Morning. This silly little show I do every Thursday at 10 a.m. While I have you here, just know that this studio is brought to you by my other studio. I got some sessions available today if you need time. It's only $40 per hour, over 10 years of experience, $50 per song if you're not in the area. I can mix and master your stems. I'm also on your favorite radio station, Power 101.7, every weekday at 5 p.m. And catch me out at Warehouse this Saturday. Going to be a big party. And I also got new music out right now. I got a new song called Party Right. It's the anthem of the summer. If you want to get your drinks up high and party the right way this summer, listen to my new single. It's called Party Right by DJ KP. Party Right by DJ KP.
Drinks up in the sky. I wanna start this party right. I wanna start this party. I wanna start this party right. Drinks up.
That's right, DJ KP going to get you partying right all summer. And don't forget about the single I have with Trap Beckham. We talked about it earlier in the show. Shout out to Trap, iconic celebrity. I got a song with him. It's called On Go. It's a twerk anthem. Look it up. It's doing numbers. But I'm going to let you all find that on your own time. Guys, it's been KP in the Morning. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Please tune in this Monday at 9 p.m. Subscribe, like, and share the show. I'll see you next time.
AKP, this crazy.
Studio 2 with DJ KP.